This is actually coming together really good here.
Coming together, words you could put on repeat at the Scharffenberger chocolate maker facility in Ashland. While a lot has changed with this brand, so much has remained the same. Let's start first with how the chocolate is made.
So how this works, the melanger, the base of it rotates, and as the associates dump in the nibs, that's what starts making the granite rollers spin. The granite rollers are not mechanized. They're literally spinning just because of the pressure of the nibs. The nibs will go and form a chocolate liqueur, which is what we call ground up nibs, and then that will go from here into the conch.
It's an artisan process that's admittedly old school.
Makes us artisan, helps us just be true to what the founders, Robert and John, created years ago.
Chris Spirko, general manager and CFO of the company, is referring to John Scharffenberger and Robert Steinberg. The two started the business 25 years ago in Berkeley, California.
They ran it for about 10 years, and then that's when it grew. They were the first artisan. They were the first bean to bar. They started the whole chocolate revolution in America.
And that revolution is getting a rebirth. Scharffenberger chocolate maker was sold to Hershey in 2005, along with Ashland-based Dagoba chocolates the following year in an effort to create an artisan division. But after a few years, the Scharffenberger brand slowed and became a bit stagnant. Then in June of 2020, a small family office in Wisconsin purchased both Scharffenberger and Dagoba, hired a new leadership team, and that's when things really started rolling.
Now it's all about, waking up the echoes of the past and really going after what Robert and John created. And we've built a great facility, great chocolate making facility, and now it's just all about selling it.
I got a call. There was an investment company who wanted to buy Scharffenberger from Hershey, and I got a call, and my heart just jumped. All right, because this brand has been life-changing for me. So everything I did since 2007, working for Scharffenberger, has been a change in direction.
Zero hesitation for chocolate maker Ray Major, who's no stranger to the chocolate world. Ray worked for several cocoa and chocolate companies, and in 1977 joined the Hershey team and worked for them for 18 years. While he was there, he worked with Scharffenberger.
It was the first time I worked for a company that really loved cacao, meaning that they, where the cacao came from was important, because in those days, we have all these bean-to-bar companies, all these craft chocolates, but in those days, these guys were the first.
Ray says Scharffenberger has always been ahead of the curve, a company on the front line always talking about new things. And he says it feels good to be back.
We've brought back that same entrepreneurial spirit. Hopefully, what we're doing and talking about today, the rest of them will be talking and doing next year.
About 10 years ago, I was a part of a startup out of the New York area that made a lot of noise in confectionery and in the chocolate world. And that founder had been in confectionery and chocolate and sweets for a number of different years. And he would talk about Scharffenberger as this sort of tip of the spear when it came to chocolate in its sort of new evolution, not just industrial chocolate, but just doing things in a way that is different, in a way that takes the conversation and moves it forward.
The company's president, J.P. Mackey, came on board this past February. He says his background is helping entrepreneurs watch their dreams come true from a commercial standpoint, taking a look at a product to see if it brings something new to the industry, something new to the story. JP says while Scharffenberger was the first American craft chocolate, the company who started the conversation about bean to bar, he says now they're taking a step backwards in a way and recognizing the farmers.
We're trying to do things differently. Like we did 25 years ago, we're trying to do it differently now and go that much earlier in the supply chain, interact with them not only financially, but educationally and from an advocacy standpoint.
The company is not only building on its own foundation, but bringing back old bean sources Hershey walked away from. They also brought a lot of the chocolate making equipment, the machinery from the Hershey plant in Illinois back to the West Coast, back to where Dagoba first started. JP says, in essence, the company came home.
It might not be Berkeley any longer, but we are proud to be a part of a really cool, a really intimate and enmeshed community like Ashland. And the longer we're here, the more we realize how important that, the magnitude of that is sort of enmeshing this whole community is. I mean, it's why we're talking today.
The new team is shaking things up at the facility in Ashland, waking up a brand that was a bit on snooze the last few years. New branding is only the beginning. Other products will be rolling out next year. Sweet provisions, chocolate flats, perfect for entertaining or cheese and fruit boards. They're adding flavors to the bars like cherries, almonds, and toffee, and using alternative sugars and milks.
Doing things that we believe Scharffenberger would have done had it still been running this, running itself as an independent company for the last 20 years.
Chris calls it a comeback.
We're like the comeback kids of the chocolate industry.
It's a sweet story of history, passion, and a love of chocolate, all wrapped up with intent. And it's turning out to have a pretty sweet ending.
This is the first bean to block company. They changed basically the face of chocolate making. So for me, the real story is the resurrection.
We are trying to make the best chocolate in the world, but we're trying to do it in the right way, in the same way that they did it many years ago. That helps not only ourselves as an organization, but also the farmers and everyone that loves chocolate bring it back.